Welcome to Mets season, where you get Mets content and MLB news from around the league. How you doing, guys? I want to welcome you to my channel, and in this video, I want to talk. My last video, I was talking about some of the negative stuff from the bullpen, but I want to talk about the potential positive things that can happen out of the Mets bullpen, and I'm talking more like the surprises or guys that um, some of the Mets fans could be sleeping on. I'm not gonna bash Diaz. I like Diaz. I hope Diaz does well. But I want to talk more of the bottom part of the bullpens. For instance, what I think Lucchese's going to wind up doing. Loop, even though Loop is a solid pitcher, I feel like the fans are kind of sleeping on him. And I also want to talk about Miguel Castro and then a surprise guy there at the end. So the first guy I want to hit on is Lucchese. I believe he's going to be a middle reliever slash spot starter. Um, on scheduled double headers, you may see Lucchese get a start, depending on what's going on as far as health wise with the pitching staff and in the minors. I believe Lucchese will be a middle reliever. I believe Peterson will get the fifth starter job, and as far as Lucchese, I know a lot of fans are excited about him, as we should be. He has really good stuff. He's young, again left-handed. He's got that little pitch, the curve that everybody's excited about. And like I said, I think he'll be a spot starter. He'll be a long guy. You might see him throw 2, 3 innings if needed. And there's value in that. I know a lot of those pitchers usually have really bad numbers and stuff like that. But look at it this way: if he does well, we're gonna be in contention um, for the season. Because when you got a guy like that, that's valuable. Like I said, if your starter's not doing well and you can bring in a guy like that and he shuts it down for 2, 3, 4 innings, maybe just give up a run and gives their team a chance to come back, that's, again, I've seen the Mets be successful with guys like that, as a whole. So, Lucchese, like I said, middle reliever, spot starter. Expect that from him. The second guy I want to talk about is Aaron Loop. I don't see too many fans too much talk about this guy, but this guy is solid. He has a career 3.35 ERA. He was with Tampa last year. He was 3-2 with a 2.5 ERA, I believe. Solid numbers. The guy touches 95 with his fastball. Has a nice slider. I believe a changeup also. So I don't see too many fans about Aaron. Fans speaking about Aaron Loop. He's solid. He's solid. I've seen him pitch. Like I said, I'm out here in Florida, so I get Tampa games. I lived out in that area for a while, a few years ago. I actually root for the Rays also. That's kind of like the other team that I root for. Excuse me, no COVID. But yeah, Aaron Loop is a guy that look for him to be productive. I don't see why we should get anything other than what he's been doing for his career, which is anywhere from a 2.5 to 3.5, which is great. And like I said, he throws some heat. 95 from the left side is good stuff with a slider. So I think Luke definitely is going to contribute and do well, be solid there. Now let's get more of the surprising couple of guys here that I feel like can contribute and really, 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 if they contribute, can really get us over the top. The first guy is Miguel Castro. I like this dude. The only thing I don't like about him is I hate when they tilt their hat to the side. It's mainly the Dominican pitchers and the players. You know, it's just annoying to me. I don't like it. But this dude has an arm, man, and his release point, that slingshot, like kind of like Diaz. They're similar in a lot. Castro throws hard, 97, 98. Um, if Hefner and the coaching staff can get him to snap that slider out on the outside part of the plate where it has that nasty break, this guy could be devastating. And I think he can do it. I mean, he's been solid throughout his career, about 3.5 to 4 ERA. But he's kind of like Diaz. Like I said, I know an Orioles fan, and Castro has given up some big homers over the last like 2 or 3 years. Um, but those home runs came late in the game. A lot of pressure with the Mets. Unless he's like lights out, he's not gonna be pitching eighth, ninth inning games. He's not gonna be pitching in those innings. So if we can use him, I would say that they should use him early in the season and often. Let him get his feet wet. Let him see what it is to be in New York. Get that adrenaline pumping. Hopefully, having a better catcher with better pitch calling and better framing in McCann can help a guy like Castro. Because like I said, 97, 98, he throws the ball down in the zone. His problem is the slider. Sometimes that slider hangs in the middle of the plate, and it's because he's trying to do too much with it. When you see a slider or a breaking pitch that hangs high in the middle of the plate, it's because they're trying to do too much to it. The form is there, but the grip and the adrenaline that's going through the pitcher is kind of like what screws that up. You know, so again, it's mental because again, if you're allowing the adrenaline to affect the pitch on how you release it, it's mental. It's mental. It's not that he can't do it. He can do it. So I would throw Castro out there early and often, man. In the season, again, let him get his feet wet. Make him feel part of the team. I think a guy like that could really thrive in the Mets pen and be a sleeper. He's still young. Like I said, he's a lot like Diaz. So if they can separate the two, use Castro in the sixth, maybe seventh, preferably earlier, like in the sixth inning, split the pitchers in between, because I believe in that, like the forms and stuff like that, like breaking that up. I believe in that. I've seen it work. Um, Tampa Bay, they use their bullpen like that. Depending on their arm angles and stuff like that, I've read a lot about their analytics and stuff and how they're big on that. So speaking of Tampa, one guy that's a sleeper that I'm hoping to be a surprise is a young man that came from the Rays. He was there for a couple of years, and the Mets signed him and actually outbid everybody. And that's Sam Mcwilliams. He pitched in today's game. He got hit, but reading his the story on MLB, how he's touching 97 now from 94, and he dished his two-seam fastball. And as far as the analytics go, they're expecting him to be able to be a major league pitcher and pitch well. There were a lot of teams, like 15 teams after him. The Mets offered him a MLB contract, I believe worth $750,000. He's a big guy, 6'7". What I was watching in today's game, by the way, the Mets won 2-0 against the Astros. What I noticed about him is his breaking pitch, he was leaving in the middle of the plate a lot. His off speed pitches. He kept missing low with his pitches. Every time the catcher set up high and in, he was missing low. So that's not a bad thing. Technically you hear that, you want to keep your pitches down, this and that, but sometimes, a hitter's weakness is up and in, up in the zone. You have to get that ball there to get that out. So, Sam Mcwilliams is a guy that, he's 25 years old, 6'7", 230, big dude, young. From what I understand, he had a lot of his own analytics and his stats with his pitches on his phone, and he was able to, I guess, give the Mets, some of that information that he had from Tampa. I understood that the Rays wanted to keep him, but you know how they are. Once you test them a little bit financially, they just let the guy go. So Sam McWilliams is a guy we'll see. We'll see. Hopefully, like I said, big guy. He's young, and supposedly he's figured it out. You know, He's figured it out. So we'll see. Again, I was watching him, and he couldn't get the ball up. Whenever the catcher would spot his glove up and in, he was missing down, missing down, missing down, missing down. So we'll see what happens. So once again, we'll go through. I believe Lucchesi be middle reliever, spot starter. Aaron Loop, don't sleep on him. The guy's a veteran. He knows what he's doing, and he's been consistent. 2.5 to 3.5 ERA. Those are good numbers. Solid. He touches 95. Like I said, veteran. Miguel Castro. I believe he can do it. I believe he can do it. I believe he can be a surprise guy. You know, for his career, has always been around a 4 ERA. It's time for him to step up and have a great season. And I believe he can do it. And then the last guy was Sam Mcwilliams, free agent guy the Mets picked up. 15 teams were bidding for him. The Mets offered him a major league contract. Big guy, 6'7", 25 years old. And I believe he could get it done. Like I said, they're very big on the analytics, and he ditched the pitch, two-seamer, and, the way he had been pitching and picking up on Tampa's system, obviously people know that the Rays, they fix a lot of guys. All right? So, the Mets won today 2-0. It was fun watching the game. A little bit with the lineup, I was surprised to see McNeil batting fifth. He went deep, though, however. I prefer to lengthen the lineup up a little bit. I would rather put McNeil third and leave Lindor batting second, switch hitting, to not have Nimmo and McNeil batting back-to-back left-handed. But then again, it doesn't matter for McNeil. He hits anybody. So we'll see. Rojas likes to mess around with the lineups a lot. That's the one thing I don't like about him. Also, so we'll see what happens. Again, some positives on the Mets bullpen. If you guys like the video, hit like, subscribe, comment in the section. Let me know what you guys think about the pen, man. Let's think positive, and I believe there will be some good coming out of the pen. Like I said, they should use Castro early and often. Let him get his feet wet, go out there, even if he gives up a couple of dingers early, because I believe he has the potential to be great. He could dominate, actually, with his his heat and his slider. Like I said, sometimes the slider is nasty, and sometimes he leaves it in the middle of the plate. And that's just adrenaline, which is mental. He needs to calm himself down. Maybe Hefner can find something, or, obviously now with McCann, in certain situations, have him settle down and get that slider to snap off the outside part of the plate, especially against right-handers. All right, guys. So thank you again. Once again, welcome to my channel. Over and out. Let's go Mets.